1 o'clock in the morning. To be specific, it's 1:45. And I'm sitting here. A few hours ago, I just ate some hamburger helper. I put some spinach and some pepper jack cheese in it. And it's pretty good. But I ate too much because I'm greedy and I just love the taste of food. And I'm mad at myself. Always been mad at myself. Always been an angry person. Always been so angry, man. I'm talking uncontrollable rage, dude. It's dangerous. And I'm talking since I've been a kid, man. Like, when I was in school, man, I got into so many fights. Even outside of school, after school program, community center, even always. And a lot of the fights I got in, bro, I started almost every fight. And I just remember feeling like nobody liked me, like nobody, like I just didn't belong, like I never fit in nowhere, or like everybody hated me. And I remember being a kid, like 7, 8 years old, not wanting to be here, bro. I remember I used to try to stop breathing. For real, man. I used to like I used to take baths and see how long I could stay under the water. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to be so mad and so angry at the world and people, bro. I understand that I love people, but I do not like being around people, man. And it's a strange relationship to have. Like, you love people, you love being around people, you love talking to people. I love talking to people. I love being around people, but it's not always in my divine interest to be around people and to talk to people, or to be vulnerable, to be open, and just to be myself, man. A lot of times a lot of my life, bro, I had to wear a mask, you know, and I'm grateful that I have friends, because a lot of, like, my friends that I still call friends to this day, they helped me become confident in the person that I am today, bro. Because, like, being at home and being out in the world I always lived two different lives, bro. And sometimes I feel like my own family don't even, like, my friends know me better than my own family. And, like, before I ever remember my dad being there, I'm talking like when I was young, a kid, bro, I had a stepdad. And my dad never put his hands on me, but my stepdad, there was a time, bro, and he put his hands on my mom, and I watched this growing up, you know, and I don't know you. Like, who are you? And it's scary just living with somebody, and you see, this first 7 years of your life, where you soak up a lot of stuff. And we lived with, until I was like, what, 11 years old, bro. Me, my brother, and my mom, we live with this dude. And then I got one sibling that's a full sibling. Other than that, I'm the oldest out of six, and I got five other siblings. But only one of them is a full sibling, you know. And my brother is really the only one that been through what I've been through as far as in the home, you know. And it was always yelling and frustration, and I picked up on that, you know. I remember until I started playing football, bro. Like when I started playing football, that's when I remember that, you know, I had an outlet. And I started playing football when I was 9 years old, 10 years old, one of them. And that's my like real first time ever like really being happy because I had something to let the anger out. And I played football all the way up until I was 17 years old, man. And you know, even in high school, bro, I stopped getting in fights, and that's when I started getting friends and stuff like that. But even at home, bro, me and my mom didn't get along, man. Like, and I was so angry when I was at home, because I wanted to do what I wanted to do. And like, how can you tell me like I wanted to go out and have experiences and be around other people, and you know, even this kind of sound contradictory, but that's just what it was, man. I wanted to, I didn't like being at home. There was nothing to do at home. I was always had this adventurous spirit, and I just always wanted to go out and just be and learn and live, man. But I've always been angry at myself because as men, bro, and I wasn't even taught this, bro, because like I said, bro, I didn't grow up with my dad in the house. I didn't, and even my dad, he's not a man that I can really look as far as like looking up to somebody, because he was always in the streets. When I was 1 and 2, 3 years old, he was in prison, and I was looking up to my stepdad more than I could look up to, you know, my dad, because he always had a, you know, and it's complicated because my dad did have jobs when I was growing up, but as far as I remember, bro, especially like as I got older, my dad was in the streets, man. My dad never had his own house until I was what, 9, well, 14, 15. But I wasn't talking to my dad when I was in high school. I didn't really talk to him because I remember my dad telling me after he had like his third son, he was like, "Yeah, man, you grown now, and you gotta provide for yourself." And I'm what, fresh in high school, and my dad told me this. He's like, "Yeah, I can't do nothing for you. I just got another kid. I can't do nothing for you." You know, and I'm like, and that's when I started like hustling, like stealing, and you know what I'm saying. And it was like, okay, because it's like, okay, you provide everything that, and he was always there, especially like financially, but it feel like that was all like the only thing. I just wanted to spend time with my dad, but like it feel like it was always about money if we ever did. Like he always was like, well, y'all need what y'all need. You know what I'm saying? Like, and nowadays I just realized that I'm angry at myself, man, and because I never really had a real proper role model. I'm not mad at myself because of that, but I'm realizing that another reason why I'm not able to have certain maybe masculine traits as I would like is because I didn't have a necessary. I don't. But there is who says what's like right or wrong. But you know, like as far as like doing the right thing in life, you know, like my dad was a drug dealer most of my life, and I never knew that. I always knew that that's not the way that. I didn't want to go down that road. I always knew that, okay, that's not for me. The streets is not for me. But I was always there, you know. Like, I'm from a small town, and there's not a whole lot to do but what everybody does. And But a lot of times nowadays, I'm mad because I'm mad at myself because I'm not really making, because I can be making better decisions. And it's easy to want to do better decisions, but actually doing it, like action is the most one of the most important things in life. Action and effort, and to me, just learning. Excuse me, I got a burp. Learning what's best for me isn't always, working a job, because that too, that makes me angry. Like, not having time for like giving all my time away and being somewhere that I don't want to be. And everybody and that's supposed to be normal, quote unquote. Like, that's not, I never, like when I started playing football, bro, I always see myself like I could make it. I could make it to the NFL. Even though I'm short, but I just always felt that I had the potential. Always felt the potential was there for me to be greater than just okay. Because my mom worked a job, bro. It's like my dad always had the money, but my mom we always had bare minimum, and I'm just like I don't want to be like that. I don't want to have to work a job and be bare minimum, because there's more life out there, man. And me not chasing my full potential is why I'm so really angry. Like, and then like distancing myself from people. I'm just letting this all out, man. I don't know what I'm really trying to say, but God led me to just make this video. I don't even know if I'm gonna post it. I don't know, but I feel so much better now, because I always just felt this frustration within myself, within just life, and this is me healing from this anger, from this frustration, from this rage. Oh my gosh, dude! Like, I've done things, man, and acted and blacked out, and because it's scary to me. It's so scary because it gets so volatile so quick for me. Like, it's dangerous, dude. It's not, and that's how I ended up my first time in jail. You know, just rage, man. When I was 16 years old. I'm not gonna go into detail about it, but yeah. And that's how I ended up really getting closer to God. The tattoo on my left bicep I found when I was in jail that time. Proverbs 15:32. He who neglects discipline despises himself, but he who listens to criticism acquires understanding. I don't know if that's how I reworded it, because at the time I didn't understand what it actually said. So I reworded it into that myself when I was 16 years old. And if you don't listen, you don't learn, man. Like, that's basically what it means. Because I always loved learning, and I always just loved reading, and the euphoria that I get from new knowledge and wisdom and understanding, it's just natural to me. I love it. That's like one of the times where I'm at my most happy and when I'm at my most joyful is when I'm learning and listening to God, because God loves the brokenhearted, man. We're his favorite. We get favor from God. And like, a lot of people have been telling me that I just read a comment in like my last video. Somebody said I'm walking the path of Job. I never read the book of Job, but now God is telling me that I need to read the book because I've heard about it so much, but I've never really actually like I don't know nothing about the story of Job, not even the slightest. Can't even muster up, you know. And a lot of the stories in the Bible, like I've heard, like this and that, this and that. You know what I'm saying? The one that I probably know most is Noah. The story about how Noah did the ark. That's probably like the most fond I am of any parable or story in the Bible. But and like I was angry at myself today because I got back into that because I've been wanting to fast, right? And I just went and bought some food because like a few days before I was just like, damn, when am I gonna get some more? I didn't have no money for no food. I didn't know like after when this food run out, when the next time I was gonna have some food. But now I got food and it's just like I don't want to go hungry, but at the same time I'm at the point in my spiritual journey where I need to be fasted. I need to be fasting and abstaining and just leaving my vessel empty, emptying my vessel so that I can be filled with God. And as I continually run away from that and, just eat food and just eat snacks and cookies and cereal and just always wanting to be full and because I don't come from a family of spiritual discipline, man. I'm learning all this stuff on my own. This is not running my family, not even in the slightest. And like I don't even. And my mom, most of my mom called me all the time. I do not answer because it's like it's a spiritual thing to me, man. I just like when I was living in the storage unit. The whole time I was living in the storage unit, I didn't talk to my mom, dude. Like I blocked her number because it's like I'm on a path that is foreign. Like a lot of people, like a lot of my family think I'm like crazy or they worried about me, but it's like I'm not worried. I'm not. And leaving a lot of my subscribers, they be like, "Man, I'm worried about it." And I get it, especially with the relapse and stuff, even that. But like when I was homeless, bro, I was joyful, dude. I was living of the time of my life, and a lot of people can't even comprehend that. Like, how can you be happy when you have nothing? When you got God, you got everything, man. You don't need stuff. You don't need money. You don't need shelter. You don't need food. God say, don't worry about what you gonna wear, what you gonna eat. And hey, man, I love making YouTube videos. I do, especially when I need to. Like, this is my outlet. This is what I love to do, and amongst other things. But everything happened for a reason, man. God don't make no mistakes. God said, "For my yoke is easy, but my burden is light." The blessings gonna come with the burden, but the blessing outweigh the burden by so much that it's not even funny. Like I could lose everything, but the blessings is here to stay, man, forever. And I'm talking about the spiritual blessings. But I'm blocking blessings because I'm not following what God's telling me to do. He telling me to fast. He telling me to read, to pray, and I'm not always willing to do that, which is, everybody, every spiritual person has went through this at least one point. Is That's what makes it stronger. That's what makes that connection stronger. It's the rebellion, and I don't know what I'm trying to say right now, but I don't know. I'm not even gonna try to sound smart or whatever because I'm not the smartest. I don't know shit. Jack, I'm talking. You hear me? Nothing. And but I know the voice of God when I hear it, man. And because as long as if I do keep answering that call and start fasting and abstaining, it helped me control my emotions and control my wants and my sensual desires. And then it's easier to observe my emotions rather than act on them. Right? Discipline, spiritual strength, armor, man. That's real strength. Not staying away from, because we don't need to eat. But you can survive off 1 meal a day. You can go weeks without food, man. They say you can only survive 3 days without water, but I don't believe that's true, because our body is water, mostly water, 70% water. I love drinking water. Water is the only thing I drink. God bless me with that, because I don't like drinking pop. I don't like drinking juice. I'm just now learning that milk is really not that good for you, and who knows if it's really milk, nowadays, right? Like, because everything feels so heavy on my stomach. Everything else feels so heavy on my stomach, and it's just uncomfortable to me. But yeah, that's the point of this video, man. I'm just angry at myself for not. And it'd be the baby steps though. Like, at least I'm recognizing that I need to be fasting. At least I'm here and there. I wake up. When I wake up, the first thing I do is I don't always eat. I might wait a few hours before I actually eat something. It take baby steps, man. I can't get there in all one big leap. It ain't about the destination, man. It's about the journey. And I know I'm gonna get there, but because, like, when I was just working the job at the factory, bro, I was not eating the whole time I was there. I probably worked there for 2 weeks, and I never ate not one time while I was there. I would drink coffee. They had a little coffee, a free coffee machine, and I would drink like what is it, frappuccinos, cappuccino, whatever. But I never ate. I didn't eat because I know I eat. Because when I eat, I get tired and I want to go to sleep, and I just want to lay down and be lazy, man. And that's another thing, bro. I'm a lazy person, man. To be honest, yeah. And oh my gosh, I know somebody gonna say something about that. Because I know they say something about in the Bible about the sloth. But I'm just angry at myself, and I need my space. I can't. It's hard for me to live with people, man, because they got their problems and I got mine, and live with a bunch of guys. It's not pretty. Or living with any. It don't even matter if it's just one person, dude. It's because I'm always worried about, like, when am I gonna have my own place? When am I gonna? But I just need to get that to God, man, because He gonna work everything out. And everything gonna work out. I'm about done. Thanks for watching.